And I don't mean to take anything away from our county executive, but it is a great day. So not to take it away from him, how about it is a great day in New Carrollton. Welcome to your beautiful New Carrollton branch. We are so delighted to be here. It was a long time coming. I think I have more gray hairs, and Michael probably has more gray hair, or maybe a little less hair. But we are so excited. I can't wait for you all to see this building. It is simply beautiful. So it's not to tarry too long. We are going to get the official things out of the way. So let me begin by welcoming our fantastic county executive. Without him, we would not have this building. So we welcome you, County Executive Rushern Baker. And because of him, we are great. Second, we'd like to welcome our county councilwoman, Danielle Glaros, and you all have no idea how much she fought for this branch. And the fact that we had some other pop-up locations. Fantastic councilwoman. We also want to make sure that we recognize the mayor of New Carrollton, the Honorable Dwayne Rosenberg. This morning, we want to recognize the Municipal Council, and I won't take anything away from the mayor of New Carrollton, so the Municipal Council is right here this morning. We also have to recognize our New Carrollton Police Department. Thank you all for being here, keeping us safe, and all of your hard work. We have with us from the county, Barry Hudson, Jackie Woody, and I know she is especially proud of this branch, and Jimmy Turlow is one of our delegates, and where is Jimmy? Oh, you should be up here, sir. And we have and I have to read her card to get this title right. We have with us this morning, and it is truly an honor to be introducing both the county executive and the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Health, Human Services, and Education, Betty Hager Francis. Michael and I would not be here at all if it were not for our board. And so we have our illustrious president of our board, President Samuel Epps, and one of our board members, Tony Smith. And if any of our other board members arrived, please wave your hand. Okay, didn't want to miss anyone. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the Friends of New Carrollton, because you all have given us money to provide programming. You support us in so many ways. So would the Friends be kind enough to stand so that we can recognize you? And I know the president of the Friends is here, of the New Carrollton Friends is here, and she was sitting over there. She moved to the back. And we also have our citywide friends with us. Countywide, the countywide friends. And so if you are a friend, there's Theresa in the back. And she is also friend of Laurel Library. I think that I have introduced all of the important folks this morning, and without them we would not be here at all. The funding came for this branch, and the hard work that went into it by each and every person involved in this, we are just so grateful. And we're grateful that you decided to come out today to celebrate with us. So won't you celebrate with us right now? Just if you could clap your hands, because this is such a beautiful branch. So now I am going to introduce to you our president, Sam Epps.
Thank you, Michelle. And I'll be very brief. On behalf of the Library Board of Trustees and staff and friends of the library, we welcome you all here today for our grand reopening of the new Carrollton Library. And I just want to take a moment to thank all the elected officials who take time, and also our friends of our library, and especially our county executive. He will leave a legacy in Prince George's County with libraries. We all know his personal story with literacy. And so his connection to our libraries in Prince George's County will go on for future decades, and we thank him for that, and we thank Danielle for her support as well too, and the municipal leaders. And so on behalf of our board, we look forward to continuing to make Prince George's County great. Thank you.
And now I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce to you the Honorable Dwayne Rosenberg.
Thank you, Michelle. I didn't know it was going to be a competition between hair loss and gray whiskers. And if that is a competition, I win hands down. But if you look around, our chief put on a beard, and he makes me feel young these days. I want to welcome you to New Carrollton. We were all wondering which would come first, the end of the summer rains or the opening of the new Carrollton Library, and they both came the same day. And I was elected in May. This is one of my first big events. Thank you. We had a candidates night. They asked us candidates, 4 of us, they said, when will the new Carrollton Library branch open? And we thought, that's a county question. But they went down the line. And somebody said October, and somebody said September. And then they said Thanksgiving, and they came to me, I said, Christmas. Well, there's one time that I like to admit that I was wrong, and it's a real joy to be here today to celebrate with you. Now, Rashawn put together a proclamation. I don't know if they're going to read the whole thing, but even if they do, I want to steal a couple of points because they're pertinent to us in New Carrollton. And excuse me, they did set aside time for me to introduce my council. I meant to do that first. Sarah Robbins is over here, and Roy Peterson, Lincoln Lashley, Felicia Nemhard, and our council chair is Dick Bechtold. And thank you guys for being here. I'm really glad to be here with us. In this proclamation, in the 1950s, the decade I was born, Albert Turner turned over 350 acres, developed 350 acres here, and gave 5 of those acres to this library property. And it's significant when I read that because Mr. Turner was the first mayor of New Carrollton. Some of us still, I wasn't here, but some of us remember that. He was the first mayor, and he's still around with us. I think he's 102 years old, and we celebrated his 100th birthday here over at the 4 Points a couple of years ago. And the Friends of New Carrollton are mentioned in this proclamation too. Established in 1995, they're an enthusiastic and generous support group for the community, this community mainstay. And I know wholeheartedly, because I've been to their meetings, that they put a lot into this. So I want to recognize them and thank them for the work they've done. Right under that, there's a discussion of a discovery reef with a 270-gallon saltwater aquarium. Well, that was thanks to donations from our friends in New Carrollton. And the last phrase in here, New Carrollton Branch Library will contribute to the success of our rich and diverse community by being a vital center of learning, communication, culture, and enjoyment. Well, that's what New Carrollton is all about to us. So thank you for being here with us to celebrate this occasion, and I'll hang around and would love to say hello to you. Thank you very much.
And now I would like to introduce to you the Honorable Danielle Glaros. Now, I will say that she really did fight for this branch. I had not been here very long when she hauled me into her office and said, I want to know what's going on. But I could tell the passion and her commitment and her ability to try to find out what was going on so that the services were not lost in this community. So, Danielle Glaros.
I was joking with Michelle. I'm not sure quite I hauled her in, but I think almost every one of you in the audience was regularly calling or emailing my office as the branch library went under construction and was anxious because they weren't seeing anything happening. And so there was constant calls at that point in time. So it is incredibly exciting to be here at this moment. In New Carrollton with this branch opening. And I think for all of us who've used this branch, I've had meetings here over the years. It is pretty remarkable to see what was a brutalist, if I got the architecture theme right, building transformed into what is a modern, bright, and airy building. And so I feel like I have to believe the architects are in this room. So architects, wherever you are, raise your hand so we can applaud you. Because this is pretty phenomenal, and as many of you know, it's a renovation project. We took the walls that existed here and created this brand new space for all of us to enjoy. I also want to thank one of the artists who actually happens to be, I told Alan earlier, Alan Bidstock. He's one of my favorite local artists here. I love glass as a medium, and he does a lot of work in glass, so you'll get to see his work here hanging up. So Alan, raise your hand, please. Alan lives down in the Gateway Arts District in the Mount Rainier area. And I really want to thank some other really special folks. Heather and Andrea, can you raise your hand? So Heather and Andrea, folks know Andrea is your local branch manager here. Heather oversees this area. They have been absolutely phenomenal as this branch has gone under construction with finding pop-up sites and making sure that we continue to serve the community. But more importantly, with their pop-up sites, they've actually discovered new members of the library community to bring here. And I really, at the same time, want to thank St. Christopher's, who has been hosting our pop-up library for the last few years. And I also want to thank Heather in particular, I think it's probably Heather and Andrea as a duo, who did outreach to our refugee community. Many of you know we have a growing refugee community here in District 3, and they've been using the Rosetta Stone language services that, if you didn't know, is available for free on the library to work with our growing refugee community. So we also have been operating in a location where they're all living here in District 3. So I want to give all of them a round of applause. So many of you know my theme as a county council member, and this year I happen to also chair the county council, is Together Strengthening Our Community. And it's a theme actually that I coined many years ago, actually, before I was the council member working as chief of staff. And I think it speaks so much to this building and the opportunity this building brings. It speaks to the Friends of New Carrollton Library, who've just been an amazing force of energy and advocacy. It speaks to all of you, the little ones who are in the audience, who are going to be able to come here, grow up here, experience the 3D printer that's available here, experience all the other amazing resources that we didn't have in our community. And really, the community here at the library will have this ability to connect, find their place in their home, make sure that they can have meetings together and connect with other individuals in the community. The library brings so much to our neighborhoods and to all of us here, whether it's the workforce development work that people might do here. They might come here to do resumes. A lot of folks do that here at our libraries. They might be checking out the book that they want to see. They might be looking at a movie. They might be meeting a friend or doing homework. This is really a place in our neighborhood, and so it's so exciting to have it back open today. With that, I do have a very formal proclamation from myself and Todd Turner. And I think actually Dwayne captured some of the things that might be highlighted in mine as well with his comments. But what I will say is it is pretty exciting to see a library that was literally dedicated back in 1973, That would be a year after my birthday, in case you're curious in the audience. And to see it come to life in what is now a remarkably diverse community where learning and communication, culture, and enjoyment can come for decades to come. And so with that, if I could just have Michelle and Michael come forward to accept this proclamation on behalf of the County Council, myself as Chair of the County Council, and my Vice Chair, Todd Turner. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Didn't want to be the one to drop the proclamation. And now, without further ado, the man who was in charge of this project, the man who lost some hairs, the man who I could hear screaming sometime on the other side of the wall, but the man who made sure this building was absolutely beautiful, our other interim co-CEO, Michael Gannon.
Everybody, welcome. I'm so happy to see so many people here on 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. Thank you so much for coming out. As Michelle said, when I'm not doing this interim co-CEO thing, I'm in charge of our facilities. So for the past year, every 2 weeks, I've spent my afternoons here on Thursdays with the progress meeting. So I'm so happy to see people actually in the building that are not working on it. So it's great to see that it's being used. As it's been said earlier, the new Carrollton branch was built in 1971, and it was built in a style called brutalism. And brut is French for raw, and it's an architectural design from the 70s that involved raw concrete. And as those of us here who have lived through the 70s know, not many things were very attractive back then. The original building, I always thought looked like a prison from the Soviet Union, but we brought it into the 21st century, definitely. We actually found in our archives the original program for the first dedication of this building, which was February 18th, 1971. Now, prepare to be amazed when I tell you how much this building cost in 1971. $1,098,000. So this renovation actually cost 10 times that amount. We stripped this building, demoed this building down to the raw concrete walls. And everything you see is brand new. The designer of the original building actually won a national award. Again, it was the 70s. We've already told the architects from GWWO who designed this renovation that we want another award. So they've been told, they've been put on notice, we want another award. We'll take a state award, it doesn't necessarily have to be national, but it has to be an award. So the newly renovated building has 66 computers for the public scattered throughout the building in children's, teen, and adult. We tried something new, and we're going to see if we're going to continue it with our other building projects. We enclosed the teen zone in glass so they can be as loud as they want without disturbing everybody else. It also, we have a 3D printer, as was mentioned, and a virtual reality system in there as well for the teens. We really have a big STEM initiative in the library. This new glass addition here, this piece that you're all in here is an addition. So you remember, those of you who remember the old library, you'd have to come up this high ramp on the side, and if you were in a wheelchair or had strollers, it was really a pain. So we brought the entrance right out front. We put a glass enclosure for our vending cafe and this great entry lobby. Also, you remember the restrooms and the meeting room used to be downstairs as well. And you would have to get on this rickety little elevator to go down there. And I lived every day, I was like, when's it gonna break, when's it gonna break? So we brought everything on this floor. We now have 2 meeting rooms and we have really good restrooms. The library does wonderful restrooms, so make sure that you check out the restrooms before you go. Because I always say that when I leave and the staff talk about me, which they will say that Michael gave us great restrooms. So please check our restrooms out. And this is actually the second public library in our county that has electric charging stations in the parking lot for electric vehicles. And the library actually... We actually bought an electric vehicle because we thought that we would practice what we preach. So we have an electric vehicle. You might see it out on the roads. Look for the white library van with a extension cord on the side of it. It really does have an extension cord on the side of it. Through our the county's Art and Public Places program, and we have Ms. Rhonda Dallas right here who heads that. 1% of the construction costs for every public building goes toward public art. So we have a beautiful, I call it a mobile. The artist told me it's a stay-bill because it doesn't move. We call it Convergence of Knowledge, and we have the artist right here, Alan Binstock. Alan was introduced earlier. You'll get to see that stay-bile when you go into the main clerestory part of the building. We always brand our children's areas. We're very big on early literacy in the library system, and we believe in interactive children's areas. So we always have a theme for our children's area. The theme for the New Carrollton children's area is Discovery Reef. So it is an underwater theme, and when you get in there to visit it, you will see it makes you feel like you are actually underwater. We want to thank our New Carrollton friends who were generously donated a large portion of the funding that went toward our 270-gallon saltwater aquarium. And many of the children in this community will never see a tropical fish, but when they come to the library, they will have that opportunity. So we really felt that this was a learning experience for them. This is also the first branch in the county that we've actually put study rooms in the children's area. So, wow, children study too. So we finally decided that this was an important thing, and we are calling them think tanks. Now I want to proceed to the part of my part where I'm going to express some gratitude. First of all, thank you to everyone for your patience. I know that this project took a very long time. We had a lot of construction issues. When you have a building of this age, that's totally made out of concrete, you have issues. So thank you all for your patience, and when we finally let you get in there, I hope you will think that time you waited was worth it. I want to thank our New Carrollton staff who were without a home for several years, but were still able to bring the library to the community through their pop-ups. And we actually have staff that were hired for New Carrollton that never had a home. So this is actually their first branch that they're actually in. So this is great for them to finally have a home. We want to thank our partners and friends at St. Christopher's Episcopal Church, Pastor Milana, who graciously hosted our staff and our program. So thank you. Is Pastor here? Yeah. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of our support services departments who work to put in the books and the other materials, the equipment, the IT equipment, all the furniture. Thanks to our architects at GWWO. Andrew Town is here. He was the primary architect on this. Andrew. Everybody make sure you go up to him and say, we won an award for this building. Appreciate that. Actually, we were very pleased with GWWO. This is the first public library they built. They're very well known for their cultural interpretive buildings. They did the visitor center at Fort McHenry, and they've just completed the new Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad Museum. So they brought their skills at culture and museums to the library. So I think we've got some great things for that. I want to thank our county project manager, Roland Baromo. Roland's over there. Thank you, Roland. Roland was the man behind the scenes at the county pushing everything through for us. I want to thank the support of Council Chair Glaros and County Executive Baker, who have always been enthusiastic supporters of the library. Thank you. We always appreciate that. And again, thank you all for your patience, and I think that you will really be pleased with this. So with that, I would like to now introduce our County Executive, Mr. Rushorn L. Baker III. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. I want to thank the board, Sam, and the board for all the work that you've done to make this happen, not just here, but throughout the county. I certainly want to thank Ms. Betty Hager Francis. Those of you who don't know, and Sam alluded to it, so reading and libraries are very important to me. One, because I struggled as a child to read and had to repeat the first and second grade. And when I discovered the way books open up your life and your mind, it became an important part of my life. So as county executive, I told Betty that I wanted to tie our library system with our education system to grow and give children the same opportunities that I had as a child. And with that, she took the ball and ran with it, working with the library system to build new libraries throughout Prince George's County and connecting them with our K through 16, because we go all the way to the community college. And she's done a great job. And, you know, I look like a really nice guy, but it's really hard to work with me. And Betty has done a terrific job. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Sarah and I go back to when I was a delegate. You were on the council and I was a delegate, so this is full circle for us in New Carrollton. I want to thank the mayor and the county council for the county and the city council for all the work you've done to make New Carrollton a great place. Can we give them another round of applause? And certainly to Danielle and her colleagues. As Danielle said, even before she was on the council, working as the chief of staff and working as a mom to make sure and understanding how important our library system are. They've been a critical part. We can come up with the ideas, send the budget down there, but they have to approve it, and each and every time they not only approved it but expanded it. So give them a round of applause. I see we have our brand new senator in dual roles here, Melanie Griffin from the 25th District, former delegate, soon to be senator. So we want to give her a really large round of applause, because I am sure the next county executive needs money, and I know Danielle does, and Melanie's going to do a great job for that. And we talked about Rhonda Dallas and the work. I didn't know at the time that I was a delegate that the arts would be so important to me. And then I had children, and two of them are artists. And so anytime we can promote the arts, and I also didn't realize, and I know Ron has done that, how much the arts was going to be a part of our revitalizing Prince George's County. Every part of our county, from the hotel down at National Harbor or MGM, or the hotel at University of Maryland, to our arts district, to what we're doing in Suitland, has all been centered around artists and art. And that has allowed Prince George's County to lead the state and the region in job creations. And so it's a vital part. I want to thank her for her work. So this is bittersweet for me. I am on my way out as county executive. The great part is I get to go to programs like this and see them come to life. The bittersweet part is I remember this library, not as a father, not as a delegate, but as a law student. My first year at Howard University, I lived in Fox Ridge Apartments down the road, and I would come to this facility to study, never thinking that I would actually live in Prince George's County. I thought I was going back to Massachusetts, but this was my home. For the 3 years I studied at Howard University, when I didn't want to drive to that campus way in DC, I would come to this facility. And it helped give me the chance to do something that nobody in my family had done, and that is to become a lawyer. And so when I walk in here today and I look at this facility, and I can't wait to see it, what I think most about are those young people and what they're going to do in life, and how this building and these people and these books are going to open their mind to do things that will make not only this city great, not only this county, but the state and this nation. So what we do here today is not a little thing. what we do here today is shape the future. Thank you. God bless you.
All right, now we're going to have the groundbreaking. No, we had that. Sorry. Still recuperating from this. Going to have the ribbon cutting. We have our illustrious guests here who will assist us. And then after the ribbon cutting, we have cake and refreshments in our meeting room, which is this way. Go in here and make a right when you go in. And then you please check out books, because we have a lot of books here for you to check out. I know that you all been waiting and holding back. So if we could have our guests here, our panel, to come and cut the ribbon.
Sarah, come on. Yeah. Hey, Mike. Yeah. Let Sarah. Oh.
Yeah.
Very tall, thank you.
City Council, come on in.
We have one more gentleman. Doing good.
All right, Dick, come on in.
Come on in, Dick.
Okay. All right, now we can remain.
Sarah.
There, you got to position yourself. Here.
Come on in, Sarah.
Okay, you got my other arm? I got the scissors and an arm. This is good. Multi-talented.
I don't know. Betty, can you slide one step to your right, please? Thank you. Good. Man, can I have you one step, baby step to your left? Sir, you're good. Mr. Baker, you're good. Everyone else is good. Everyone can see me? Faces up to me, please, if you would. Thank you. 1, 2, and 3. This is the hard part of the job, guys. 1, 2, and 3. All right, anyone give a countdown for the ribbon cut, please?
3, 2, 1.
I want to get a photo of Ms. Glaros and Mr. Baker with Steve Sharp.